Hello, everyone. It's your friendly neighborhood Dara here, and we are on the case. And when I say we, I'm not by myself today. We're doing some things over at Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and I am with the Jack Attack herself, ready to attack a mystery snack. My mystery maven sister, Jax is here. Jax, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm dying for chocolate.
Come
I'm
on.
ready to unpack it all with you. Thank you for inviting me to chat about this because one, I've missed you, and two, I have been waiting for this mystery.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the anticipation? The pitter patter of the heart. Because I put up a clip of this on my Instagram, how Andrew and I were talking about this in his interview. I asked him, I said, would you ever do a mystery? Lo and behold, him and like it's hair. Like we've seen it. It's hair.
I think you manifest that.
Oh my gosh. I take no credit. Glory to God in the highest. That's him. I give all praises to him. But like it's here. Andrew Walker, Nikki Deloach, curious caterer, dying for chocolate. Let's get into it. So Jax, tell me your frame of mind going into it. Like what was your mindset going into this?
Well, so I love a good mystery, and Hallmark movies and mysteries, they've not been giving me enough. What they give me, I like. It's just not enough. And I found out shortly before watching this, maybe a few days before, that John Christian Plummer, who we all know I have a massive crush on from Mystery 101, he's the writer on that, did the polish of this script. So I was excited, but one, I knew I was talking to you. So I was like, okay, I get gal time with Dara. Excited about that. Two, love Nikki and Andrew. And then when I heard about JCP doing the polish, I thought it's over. This is a highly anticipated event for me.
Yes, I went because I watched, I don't know if it was their Instagram live or if it was the interview they did with Deck the Hallmark, but when I found that out too, I said, oh, that's it. Just here's my money. There you go. There's my subscription. I'm done. Like, you say no more. You throw in a JCP into the blender, it's gonna come out a banger.
Exactly.
And did it come out a banger?
Whew. Oh my goodness. Actually, okay, you know what I was surprised about with this? Hearing the Deck the Hallmark interview, I thought, oh, this is going to be a little bit darker. And it was, but boy, was it funny.
Yes. Yes. Like I was intent, like after Aurora's, because Aurora that put me in a tizzy because I was so scared. So I'm thinking, oh, this was gonna be scary too. It was not scary. It was more tense and it played with your mind more. And I like that.
I'm the same as you. I prefer a psychological thriller that I can watch alone. I don't my mind goes dark places that I don't want it to go sometimes. That's going to happen. But I don't like seeing violence.
Yeah.
And this was good because it was all psychological, that I actually did watch it Monday morning in the light of day, because I think you do that too. And sometimes if I need to watch alone, that is what I do.
No, full on. I even said in my caption, I said, I'll be watching this Monday morning because I'm not finna set up myself for failure right now. Like I know myself. So let's start in talking about our caterer, Miss Nikki Deloach, but as she's known in this series, Goldie Berry. Like, can we talk about that name? Can we talk about that name? Oh my gosh. I'm like, if that isn't the cutest, like little cozy mystery name I've ever heard of.
You are so spot on, Dar. It is like cozy mystery, like it encapsulates what a name would be for a cozy mystery. And then Nikki Deloach, who is just like all light and joy and wonder, just is the perfect manifestation of that.
Completely agree. And then we have Detective Tom Schultz, our 10th San Francisco transplant into Elk Park, I believe the small town is called. And he don't like anybody. He's just like, I'm just trying to do my job. I just need y'all to cooperate with me, okay? And just stop all this happiness.
Yeah, he really kind of is a buzzkill.
But I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it so much.
I think it's very interesting to see Andrew Walker tackle this dark character and still manage to be charming and wonderful, and you want to watch him. But it is different than what we're used to seeing him do. And I really liked that. He got to really flex his acting muscles here.
Absolutely. My favorite scene, hands down, was when Goldie was in the clinic looking in her deceased friend's office. And then Detective Tom shows up. He was like, I'm gonna need to talk to you after. That wasn't a request. And he just kept cutting her off. I said, you better cut her off, Detective. You better tell her to come with you. I loved seeing Andrew in that light. And I said, I don't care. And honestly, this is my hot take. I don't care about him being in any more Hallmark Channel movies. I just need him in movies and mysteries movies from now on.
I really think now look, I love Nikki and Andrew doing the rom-com. Yes, give me Christmas movies with them, sure. But if I have to choose, just give me as many episodes of Curious Caterer as possible. And if we have to take the hit on Christmas, I don't want to, but I'll do it because I need this.
I'll volunteer as tribute, take the hit on Christmas, give me the mystery. Yes. I put this in my story too. I was like, I need more of where this came from. Wherever this came from, I need more of it, please and thank you. And I told him, I said, I'm already ready for another one in the fall. Like if they just want to start working on another one for the fall right now, I'm with it.
Like, why haven't they already filmed it? They knew it was going to be good.
That's the question. That's the bigger question. They should have had this set up because they knew it was going to be a hit, which is probably why they were underselling it. But they knew what they had on their hands.
Okay, so do you feel like they undersold it? Because I do too. I was like, wait a minute, why aren't we making more of a deal out of this?
Because I think maybe they just didn't want to toot their own horn, but I'm like, fam, y'all knew what y'all brought. Y'all brought it, and it came to the table, and I ate it with a spoon, a fork, and a knife, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
So, every utensil we could get our hands on.
Legit, a salad fork, a seafood fork, a butter knife, like the little tiny butter knife that you get. I'm so serious. I ate this up with a fondue machine. So let's go into the nature of the mystery here. So we have Goldie Berry's friend, Dr. Laura Smiley. She is our victim here. And it seems as though she was ran off a cliff. And even how Goldie found out about it, I was like, uh-oh, there we go. Ooh, that was emotional for me. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Nikki's acting in this moment was incredible. I mean, you could feel her inner tempo as she's running towards just trying to get info. And then, I mean, Andrew Walker coming up and being like, we don't need another body down there. I was like, wait, what? Record scratch.
Detective Buzzkill was just like, wait, what?
Buzzkill.
Like, what? Yes, he was like, listen, I don't know what you heard, but I'm gonna tell you what I said. Get back. I was like, oh, we are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. This is a completely different one, man. And so from there, we see Goldie on this quest to try to find out what all happened with her friend. Now, did you guess? Like, did you even have any inkling of an iota of a figment of something?
I was shocked at the perpetrator. I didn't. This one I watched, and I usually pick someone who I think it is, and then I'm like, this is my main suspect. Mm-hmm. This I really just let wash over me, but I was shocked, completely shocked. I thought it was interesting though, because they were really trying to push the fact that Dr. Smiley could have taken her own life. And I just thought, oh my goodness, can you imagine being a therapist called Dr. Smiley and being depressed?
I wonder if that was that, like, now that you say that, I wonder if they did that from a writing aspect as like a play on words. I just thought about that. Like, I wonder if they just snuck that in there as like a little Easter egg. Like her name was
ACP would.
yeah. Oh man. I had no idea until they got until he was in the room and then he opened the drawer. And as soon as he started talking, I was like, oh yeah, it was him.
So that's when you were hit.
Yeah.
That you knew that it was okay.
Yeah.
But
as soon as
before
he
that,
started
what did
talking.
you think?
So I thought that Marla, her caterer companion who does the flowers, and then is her name Adele? Adele's husband, Archie, I think his name. I thought they were co-conspirators, and they were I thought
they were like having an affair.
I thought they were having an affair, and I thought they were in cahoots, and maybe Laura found out because that's why she was there that night. Because do you remember Adele said she came to the house that night, and I thought that was why Dr. Smiley came, was to tell I always write that. Like other
I actually I think that works. Like that I would have thought as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened. So we also had we had some usual suspects and some familiar favorites in this mystery as well. Mr. Antonio Keon came through and said, I'm gonna drop this teacher Brad on him.
Okay, so here's what I do when I talk, and I don't want to veer from the mystery, but I want to ask you because we had to talk about romance a little.
Yes.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be shipping, you know, Andrew and Nikki, and not that I don't, like, we love them, but oh my gosh, Brad,
yes.
You are HOT hot. They have chemistry. I'm not ready to give up that either. Yeah.
I want it to be a triangulation situation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Good. So you're with, okay, good.
Like, give me like almost Murder She Baked style, like when she had Norm and Cameron Matheson's character. I'm like, I want to see them just full steam ahead to see who's going to reach the top first. Yes.
Honestly, like that, I didn't expect that they would have so much chemistry, but then I was like, okay, I'm gonna, because I knew Andrew and Nikki would, but then I was like, yeah, we're gonna need more of this.
Yes, please. I vote yes. That's my vote. I really enjoyed Antonio's performance in this, and even I had a chance to interview him and just hear him talk about how much fun he had on set and how much he loved like the cast. Like it really showed through in the mystery. I'm like, oh, they really do love each other. Like they really are like a family. Like they're bonded, and I love just watching them on screen. So I hope we see more of Teacher Brad moving forward.
Yeah, I've always liked Antonio's work. And I've always thought he was like an attractive guy, but there was something about it in this that it flipped the switch. It's like, okay.
Like, what's going on here? Hold on.
Yeah. It's like I also have a weird thing for not a weird thing for teachers. Who wouldn't have a thing for teachers? They help with our youth. They're wonderful humans. But yeah, he was pushing the right buttons.
And can we talk about Miss Goldie Berry's daughter? I thought she was just delightful. I enjoy her in this.
I enjoyed her a lot, and also I think that she has spent her young lifetime navigating this divorced parent situation, and she's done it with a lot of class.
Let's go right into that. The divorced parent situation, her ex-husband. Now, did you at any point really think that he had something to do with the whole situation?
So Dara, I didn't. In fact, I thought Brad before the ex-husband.
Oh,
I mean, I still didn't, but Brad was one that like I said, I wasn't really thinking it's definitely this person, but Brad was the one who kept bubbling up, probably because he was on my mind a lot. But I did not think it was her ex-husband. I just thought, oh, he's bad investments, a little annoying. I don't know this man's name, and I should because he does a lot of these movies, and I always like his acting, but I'm glad she divorced him. Let's just say that.
I like their dynamic as divorced parents. Like, I think that adds, I don't know how to describe it, but that element of it, I like their dynamic with each other. With that, like I appreciated that.
Yeah, I think it feels very real and there's humor to it, but there's a chemistry that isn't romantic and also isn't
Right.
even really core friendship. It's just like we know each other.
Yes. And like even that scene where he could tell she was getting overwhelmed because she just took on Adele's birthday party, but she didn't want to say it or didn't want to admit it in front of her daughter. But him knowing her, offered to take the daughter for the night, and she whispered thank you. Like that moment, I was like, oh, that was special. That was really, really special.
And this is what I think separates and why I think I really like the mysteries is that it's this world building that we get really invested in all these characters. Whereas I love the movies, but the mysteries, it's like I want to live in this world. I want to know these people and get to see their relationships develop. I'm just as invested in the characters as I am in the plot of the mystery.
Yes, now I have to kind of like detach myself from thinking Marla is a suspect or is having an affair, because when I tell you I held on to that for dear life even up until the very end, and I was almost disappointed to find out that it was the guy, and I was like, dang. And then I'm like, oh, she gonna mess up at some point, like
I think she does have crazy eyes.
and she's a little bit pushy. I'm just like, I don't know, because you saw how hyped she got when Detective Tom came to Goldie's house that one time. I was like, all right, sis, what's going on? I need you to back up. I was like, what is happening right here?
I love that she was salivating over him. And then when he left, she's like, oh, he's got a crush on you. And it's like, oh, that's not how you were acting. If you thought he had a crush on you, you were just excited.
Exactly. I'm like, did we not just witness what just took place when she was just there, just like all wide-eyed, and I was like, what is happening? But I'm curious to see what their relationship is how their relationship is going to evolve through the series. Because Hallmark, we need a series. Okay.
I mean, they have to, right? I mean, I just feel like, and one of the executives that worked on this, Heather Overton, she makes great content, and I just feel like I think we need to just flood her Instagram
and spam it. You guys, let's do it. Let's spam it. Spam it.
Heather, great job. We want more.
Yes. This was cute, but the next one.
Yes.
Can we have the next one, please?
We're very demanding sleuthers.
Yes. Oh, speaking of which, can we talk about, I love me a good like gala cocktail situation. So the actual birthday party where everything went down. What were your feelings? What was your mindset during that?
Well, so I love a gala, although I always feel I'm a very divided person at these things because I feel glamorous. I'm excited to be dressed up. And then I feel like totally out of place. My shoes kind of hurt. Like something's always a little wonky with like my earring or my makeup. Something's always off. So whenever I see one of these big scenes in a mystery, I always get really excited because I know we're in for like a lot of pomp and circumstance, and inevitably someone gets sloppy or does something embarrassing or a murder takes place. Like I get really excited at these events. I mean, are you full in on these?
Oh yes. I'm like, someone's either going to get poisoned, this is where the act, like I love the good pomp and circumstance. And we didn't mention this, but even we had like a soft one in the earlier in the mystery at the Booster Club. I'm still trying to understand who and like what is the Booster Club? What is it? Did you get any understanding as to that?
No, I wanted more info though. Like I was intrigued, but it's like, okay, maybe this is just a world I don't know that well.
Right. Maybe we'll find, maybe that's a TBD, like, or a TBC, to be continued
Yes.
piece of info that I'll get the more I visit my town of Elk Park. I understand. But overall, like, what were your thoughts? How did this mystery make you feel at the end, even in like the final, the final confession scene, and when Detective Tom and Goldie, they were in the forest? Like, how did it end for you?
Well, I know our girl's going to be okay, but I was so stressed for her because Owen clearly was unhinged.
Yeah.
He was so manipulative and so good at getting inside people's heads that I don't know if I actually feared that he would shoot her and murder her, but I was like, what sort of Jedi mind tricks could he play on her? Like, what's he taking her to the woods to do? What's going to happen? And then watching the camera footage of him leading her out and everyone being concerned about it, I started to get really nervous for her. What were you feeling like when it was ramping up?
I for sure thought he was going to shoot Goldie, and then Detective Tom was going to like try to block it, and then he gets shot in the shoulder, and then that would have started the soft spark between them because of that. I was fully like, that's how I played it out in my head. I was like, oh, Detective Tom's about to take one for the team right here, because I fully, just like you were saying, we were introduced to him as this hypnotherapist, which already you got red flags. You're like, okay, we gotta be careful about. I think that was like our first hint that something wasn't right in the water. And so when he was doing his confession and Goldie was like putting the pieces together, I for sure thought, like you were saying, he was coming unhinged, and I thought he was gonna pull the trigger. I'm grateful he didn't, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he did. I'm still trying to figure out though his motive. I think that was something I had a hard time grasping, is what was his motive for doing all of this, because I didn't understand his relationship specifically to Dr. Smiley.
That's something that I was hoping to glean from you. So I love that we're on the same page. We're connected, but we're not going to help each other.
We're both in quicksand, just like.
It's funny. I was going to bring that up, and then I was like, Dara will know.
But well, I don't, because I'm.
We were both thinking that the other one would know.
Legit.
That is so I guess, if we were to do our own mystery series, we need like a third to really balance it out and to help us.
We wouldn't solve our own mystery. Even if we did it, like we're
like, we did it, but why did we do it?
Right. I still don't understand. Right.
No. Okay. It was interesting that it was like, because he so wanted to help people with this wellness center, and he was afraid that Dr. Smiley would get in the way of that, because something that Goldie was trying to sort of relate to Owen with at the end, where she was like, no, I understand, you were just trying to help people. But it's an interesting thing, because with the wellness center, this is kind of like these gurus and things like that. You're like, yeah, you're trying to help people, but also you're doing a lot of it for this like cult like attention on yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that he loved power too. Okay.
I could totally see that. So he wanted to be the only kind of psychotherapist in the group, because was she a psychologist or a therapist? I know there's a difference, but I'm still a little cloudy as to.
So I think that she's a doctor. So I think that she is like a psychologist. I don't think she's a psychiatrist. I don't think she can prescribe meds. I'm really going deep on Dr. Smiley now. I think, but now I want to know more. Now that we're talking about this, I want to know more about their history, because it's clear she trusted them, but like not that much. And it's interesting to me that he knew that he could just hand her this snack through the car window and that she would like munch on it immediately. Like sometimes when people hand me something, if I'm not feeling it, I'll save it, or I'll be like, yeah, thank you. And then,
That is a good point. Like, how did he know she would eat it right then and there? Like that's a thing. And then the nerve to stay on the phone with her. What were they talking about for 30 minutes if they were just fighting? Like, who could you got
I want the recording of that conversation, because I was trying to think the same thing of like, okay, so he knows, he's seen her start to consume this, because he did as he gave it to her. So he knew he had to stay on the phone with her to make sure that she, I guess, died, crashed, all of that stuff happened. Like, are you just kind of biding your time then? Like, yeah, maybe you're fighting, and then maybe you're saying like random stuff like about the weather just to keep the small talk going. Like, what happens here?
Who could do that for 30 minutes though? I feel like there's a bandwidth that allots for like maybe 5 minutes of small talk, like 30 minutes. Like, now that, like you said, that makes me want to inquire more about their relationship. Like, how much were they really in relation with one another? Or like, did they have a friendship where they felt like it wasn't out of place for him to be talking to her for 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah, and even so, it's an interesting thing that there was a phone call right after they interacted in person.
Right, right. And it's like, I just saw you. Like, why are you calling me? What's the, you know? Again, it's those this is why we need a series. This is why we need a series. So, do you have any other thoughts, any other scenes that kind of like popped out to you as you were watching this mystery?
So I do. I have a little shout out to the character and the actor who plays him, Mason. I think he's very funny. I love that he's this like, nerdy is maybe even too strong, but he always puts his foot in his mouth. And when he was talking to Detective Tom and being like, oh, I don't have a crush on Goldie anymore, it's like, oh, baby boy, like, even if you did, no one thinks you have a chance with Goldie. Like, you're a handsome young kid, but you're not playing in the same league here.
That whole like fanboy situation over him and Detective Tom would just be so ice cold, like standing behind him. And he's just like, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? And then Tom's just like, go over there and write something. Get your notepad. Yeah. It's going to be so beautiful to see that, because their relationship almost reminds me, I'm in the process of rewatching one of my favorite shows, Suits. And so Harvey Specter and Mike Ross has like that big brother, little brother relationship where Harvey like rags on Mike a lot, but it's for the better. And it's because he wants the best for him. And he really sees potential in him. And I can see that being mirrored with Detective Tom and Mason. Like, they have that big brother, little brother dynamic.
100%. I didn't know you were a Suits fan. So were you more Harvey or Mike if you had to, like,
Oh, I'm Harvey all day. Oh, I'm Harvey all day. Oh, it's no question, no hesitation, no doubts, no shadows. I'm Harvey all day and night. I love Mike. I respect Mike, but Harvey is where it's at. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's where my heart belongs.
You did not hesitate.
Oh,
you didn't even give a thoughtful pause.
No thoughts needed. It was, especially as I'm rewatching it and remembering like the smackdown Harvey would put on his opponent. I'm just like, and the suits, like, oh gosh, like I just love it.
You know who I feel like you would be best friends with in that? What is the name of Donna the redhead?
Yes.
I feel like you two would be thick as thieves. Like, there's just something about your energy. I don't know what she's like in real life. I don't really follow that actor other than the work that she did in that show. But if her real life personality is at all like Donna on the show, I feel like you two would be besties.
Love her. Did you know she was she did a couple, or I think one Hallmark movie too. She did one with Sam Page. I think it's called All Things Valentine. It was really cute. Yeah, we had a couple of Suits actors on Hallmark movies, like Amanda Schull, her in Project Christmas Wish. She played one of my favorite characters, Katrina, in Suits. I'm trying to see Harvey on a Hallmark movie. I don't know if the camp is ready for Mr. Gabriel Mott on the Hallmark Channel or Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
That's where we're ready. That's where we're ready. That is
Detective.
What we need.
Detective. Me and another person were talking about this. Like our next we feel like if we were to get some new Hallmark mysteries, who we would want to see as a next detective, Neil Bledsoe, and then Gabrielle Mock will be like my non-Hallmark entry. But I want to see Neil Bledsoe. I feel like he would kill, like, because it comes naturally to him, like the snark, the sarcasm. Like he would kill the detective. He would kill being a detective, I feel like.
You know who he would be fun with? I mean, he's perfect for that. Do you know Kiana Teresa she did Good Witch, and then she did When Hope Calls. She's done a variety of Hallmark movies, but she is she played Joey, no, not Joey. She played on Good Witch, she played Joy's love interest. Her name was Zoe, but their ship name was Joey. And she is really, really good. I was telling her, I'm like, you'd be great for a mystery. I think the two of them together would be really, because you need the duo.
Yes. Now, who did she play in When Hope Calls?
She played the baker in When Hope Calls, but the movie, not the first season.
Oh dang, I haven't seen the movie yet. I just finished rewatching the first season so I could watch the movie. All right, now I'm gonna watch the movie and we'll update. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think you'll really like her. She's really fun. She was great in Good Witch, and I think that she could add. She's also a little bit, in a certain way, she's very like wholesome girl next door, but then she has a little bit like an edge or a mystery, and I think that would work well with Neil Bledsoe.
Now, what if we were to like craft this mystery series? What profession do you think she would have? Okay,
so I think Neil is 100% like the actual dark detective, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like he doesn't need any other job besides that, right?
For real.
I mean, come on. I feel like something that would be fun for her to do is either like an interior designer, and then that way she sees if something's out of place in an apartment. She's like, well, what about this? And then there can be jokes about like taste and things like, oh, but that's ugly. You know what I mean? Not like that, but
yes, you are brilliant. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. As someone who went to school for interior design, I resonate with that. Like whole.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't say it much unless unless a situation warrants it. But like I got my bachelor's in English for writing and editing, but I went and got my master's in interior architecture.
Okay, so it's me, you, John Christian Plummer, like writing it, but we're consulting. Kiana Teresa is leading it, and Neil Bledsoe was leading it. The five of us just need to get this together.
Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. That is so perfect. Oh, Jax, you're the best. You are the best. Hallmark, do you hear this? Are you listening, Hallmark?
This is happening.
This is happening. This is
Heather Overton.
Come on, somebody, please. Were there any other moments that stood out to you within, getting back to dying for chocolate? Were there any other, because I love talking with you. It's Tangent City Population 2 right now. And I'm here. Were there any other moments that stood out to you within dying for chocolate?
I feel like we all know this at this point about Nikki Deloach, but I feel very similar. And I've said phrase about Ashley Williams, but I think it also applies to Nikki. She is incapable of having a false moment, I think, in real life or on screen. And this character, she had to really show such an incredible range. And even at the end scene where she's sitting at the ambulance and she's been through so much, it's like you can just feel the energy of it's palpable, this relief that she has, but the exhaustion mentally and physically of what she's just been through, I just think she knocks it out of the freaking park.
Literally. And even also showing care to Detective Tom, like when he's checking on her and her wanting him to know, like, thank you, like her overwhelming gratitude for him being there when he was. And I could tell even Detective Tom was guarded in that moment, because it's like you could tell that was the beginning of like, oh, wait, I care. Oh, wait, nope. Okay, bye. Like, and he just kind of like quickly walked away and quickly looked away. Like they are, and I think like Nikki and Andrew, like because they've established that over the 3 movies that they've done, they do it so effortlessly in this, where they can create those special specific moments with each other. And Nikki, even as you like you said, her going from, we see her as this like joyous caterer mother in the beginning, and then watching her go through all of these ranges of emotions with her, and even like the reality of dealing with grief, how when someone asked how are you doing, and she was like, I'm not doing too well, like her just being honest and saying that, which I love that they tackled in this movie too as a new theme. Like they talked about some real stuff, mental health, addiction, grief. Like I appreciated that.
Yeah, that's a really good point too, that even with what's his name, Archie? Wait, is that the Adele's husband?
I think so, yeah.
Um, even talking about addiction, like even his alcoholism, like that we didn't get mired down in it, but it was something that and I actually thought they handled it really well. That scene at the party where he breaks the glass and everything, I actually thought they did a really great job of not making it comedic when they could have. And instead, I think that's very often on TV when there's a sort of alcohol type mishap, it seems funny or like it's quirky and it's silly and oh, we broke this and it was this huge, big, dramatic, embarrassing scene. But really, a lot of times when people are struggling with that, it's something that is, quite quietly embarrassing. Yeah. Or it's a situation where, and even she just said to him, she's like, okay, well, I'm going to take him home. And it wasn't this huge scene. It was just, wow, this is a real life thing that we're tackling. And I think it makes it so much more relatable for people who are watching it.
And that woman who plays Adele, she was also in Honeymoon, Honey Murder. Oh my goodness. First of all, her hair is always like gorgeously cut, bone straight. Like she is always just set up so beautifully. But she plays like, oh gosh, she's an amazing actress. I want to see her not just as a one-off, but like hopefully, I don't know how, but hopefully we see her more in this series, because I want to see more of her, because she does such an amazing job with bringing, like you said, reality. Like it wasn't a comedic moment. It was just like, well, this is embarrassing, I'm going to get out of here right now. And she just took him and left. Like she did such a good job with that moment. And I hope to see more. I hope she makes some cameos throughout the rest of the series, and that this isn't the last time that we see her.
I totally agree, because they gave us a lot of good character development with her and about her past with her husband, and also having a little bit of a justified jealous streak. Like there's enough there that I think that we can, and she can do the dramatic moments well, but she's also funny. So I think that it lends itself very well to popping into many of these.
Yes. Oh man. This was just a really good intro. Like what a way to start a series, man. What a way to start a series.
And I feel like with how committed they are to working with each other and how seamlessly this all came together, at least that's what it seems like, feels very fluid. I don't see why they couldn't just hunker down and shoot the next 2 in a row.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. For my birthday's in October. That gives them plenty of time. Plenty of time to just give me one. Jack said 2, but I'm gonna just say 1, just to.
I'm greeting before you.
This was just so well done. I'm so excited to see more from Hallmark movies and mysteries in general, but it's definitely from this series. I'm so excited for what's coming down the pike. I'm happy to be a sleuther. I was late to the game, but I'm here.
Yeah, you may have been late, but I think you've flown and you've soared that now it doesn't even matter when you got here. You did it the right way.
What an honor by Mystery Maven herself. Thank you. By the way, mystery update. I finished Gourmet Detective.
Did you love it?
That one is on par with Mystery 101 to me. Oh my gosh.
Actually, I haven't watched that one in a while. I need to go back now and revisit some of that.
Oh, amazing. I finished Ruby Herring. Love Taylor Cole. Love Taylor. I don't know why I've been sleeping on Taylor Cole. Love Taylor Cole as Ruby Herring.
I love that Taylor Cole is, I've met her once or twice and interviewed her once. And I remember before I had this preconceived notion, she's so stunningly beautiful that I was like, oh, maybe she'll be a little guarded, or, I think I go back to like my elementary school days where like the popular girls or whatever. And what a kind and down to earth human being. I just love her. I think she's great.
Oh, she killed it in that. So next up, I'm looking at Emma Fielding and Fixer Upper Mysteries. Those are the two that I'm going to tackle.
I haven't seen Fixer Upper.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, but we should. Okay, so I should watch these when Emma Fielding is great. You should definitely get on that. But I haven't done Fixer Upper yet, so I should. And then we can, in real time, relate to each other.
Okay, I'm down with it. Yes, please. Yes, please. This is so great. Oh my gosh, Jax, you're just thebomb.com/Jax. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Dara, Detective Dara, I love hanging out with you in real life and on here. And I'm just so honored that we got to come on and talk about this. And Hallmark movies and mysteries, I know I sound like a broken record, but you need to make more so that we can chat about them. And if you need people to consult, we're here for you.
We're here for you. That's the only reason why we're here. It's for you. Yes. It's for you. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long before we can chat again over the next new mystery that Hallmark movies and mysteries will bring us. But until then, sleuthers, keep your eyes open and we will see you on the next mystery.